The Curtea de Argeș Monastery is one of Romania's most famous and beautiful religious monuments, often considered a masterpiece of medieval architecture and a symbol of national identity. It lies in the town of Curtea de Argeș, at the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains, about 150 kilometers northwest of Bucharest. Arriving in Curtea de Argeș, the town feels modest and quiet, but as you enter the monastery grounds, the atmosphere shifts. A long, tree-lined alley leads you gently toward the white church, which gleams in the sunlight like carved ivory. The spiral domes seem almost unreal, as if they were twisting into the sky. Inside, the silence is heavy with centuries of prayer. Soft light falls through windows onto royal tombs marked with simple but elegant stone slabs. The gardens outside are meticulously kept, with flowers blooming in summer and the Carpathians in the distance. It is both a place of beauty and mourning, of peace and legend. Built between 1512 and 1517, by Neagoe Basarab, ruler of Wallachia, it was meant to be both a religious and cultural beacon. Neagoe wanted a church that would rival the great Orthodox monuments of the Balkans and Constantinople. Later centuries turned the monastery into the resting place of kings and queens of Romania. Inside you'll find the tombs of King Carol II and Queen Elisabeth, King Ferdinand I and Queen Maria, and more recently King Mihai I and Queen Anna. This makes it one of the most important sites for Romania's modern history as well. The church combines Byzantine layout, cross-and-square plan, large dome, with Ottoman decorative elements, arabesques, intricate motifs, and Western Gothic touches, pointed arches, vertical lines. The two spiral domes are the hallmark. They rise like twisted candles, giving the monastery its instantly recognizable silhouette. The stonework is extraordinarily fine, almost like lace carved into marble, interlacing vines, geometric designs, floral patterns. This delicacy gives the impression of something weightless, although the structure is massive. Inside, frescoes originally painted in the 16th century were replaced in the 19th century by French architect André Lecomte du Noüy, who restored the church extensively. Some critics say his work took away part of its medieval authenticity, but it gave the church its present harmony and brightness. Inside the Curtea de Argeș Monastery, the atmosphere is very different from the exterior's lace-like delicacy. Once you step through the doors, the space feels solemn, tall, and resonant, with a sense of grandeur meant to inspire awe. The original 16th century frescoes painted under Neagoe Basarab's rule are mostly lost. In the late 19th century, the French architect André Lecomte du Noüy, assisted by Romanian artist Constantin Leca, repainted the interior in a more westernized style. The current paintings show biblical scenes and portraits of saints in vivid but somewhat subdued colors. Blues, golds, and earthy reds dominate. The iconostasis, the screen separating altar from nave, is richly decorated, with gilded details and finely carved wood. Legend. When Prince Neagoe Basarab ordered Master Manoli and his craftsmen to build a monastery unlike any other, the work began. But each day, the walls they raised would collapse by morning. No matter how hard they tried, the stones wouldn't hold. One night, Manoli dreamed that the only way to keep the monastery standing was to offer a human sacrifice. The first beloved wife who came to the construction site would have to be immured, built alive into the wall. The next day, the builders swore an oath to follow this vision. To Manoli's despair, the first to arrive was his own wife, Anna, bringing him food and water. Bound by the oath, he had no choice. With tears, he laid her in the wall. And as they sealed her in, the walls of the monastery finally held firm. The monastery was completed, breathtakingly beautiful, but Prince Neagoe, fearing the craftsmen would build something even more magnificent elsewhere, ordered the scaffolding removed, leaving them stranded on the roof. Desperate to escape, Manoli and his men fashioned wings from shingles and tried to fly, but all fell to their deaths. Where Manoli fell, a spring of water is said to have appeared.